this one lesser known PR firm is doing it.
Yeah.
What are these big studios?
Exactly.
It's just
them
duking it out.
being to each other the whole movie. And it's brilliant. It could be Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2, which is coming.
I know, and I'm there. I don't care.
No more excuses. Now you have to catch up on Ahsoka, because the 4th episode was actually really fucking good.
I still have not watched any of
It
them.
was really good. So like we've chatted.
Yeah.
I thought the first 3 were fine. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm interested. The 4th one, we're halfway through the show. I was kind of like, all right, it's either going to be, this is going to get me to the end, or I might check out.
8 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 4th one was fucking good.
I saw that the 5th one's going to be playing in theaters, so
Yeah.
clearly some shit goes down.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
I'm hoping to catch up. I'm actually flying out of town, so I'm hoping I can download them and then watch them on the plane.
That'd be
Play
smart.
catch up there, yeah.
But yeah, hello guys.
How you doing?
New episode of the Roundtable. It was a bit of a slower news week, but we still wanted to bring some of the news to you guys. We'll have one main story and then a couple B-roll topics for you, and then we'll get to the best part of the show at the very end. You know what it is. And with that down, Nicholas, what is our main topic for today?
Our main topic, our first story actually comes to us from an unusual source, and one of the trades not normally in our rotation. Vulture got a bit of an exclusive scoop here.
Yeah, Adrian Toomes himself.
The decomposition of Rotten Tomatoes, the most overrated metric in movies, is erratic, reductive, and easily hacked, and yet has Hollywood in its grip. Basically,
What a fucking hater title.
I know. They were like, I am making this a scathing review. But basically, Rotten Tomatoes got into a bit of a controversy in terms of, well, I guess a PR firm more so. But PR firm was paying people to leave positive reviews on movies.
Yeah,
And
so
Rotten Tomatoes allowed it.
yeah, so here's the situation as we know it as of now.
Yes.
And this is a kind of a developing story, so if we have updates, we will, as we always do, we'll bring it to the show.
Yeah.
Before I dive into what's going on, let's quickly remind everyone how Rotten Tomatoes, the website, works.
Yes.
They don't actually give anything ratings. The tomato meter is all that is it takes a bunch of movie reviews, rounds them up, and then tells you what percentage of the reviews are positive. Positive meaning it was okay to it was excellent. You know, if a movie can have a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes if 6 out of the 10 reviews say it's the best movie of all time, or if they say it was okay, it's still a 60. But that's kind of how Rotten Tomatoes is, and then it kind of got skewed as to what it means and everything. But that's what it is. It's just it aggregates a bunch of reviews and kind of does it that way.
Gives a happy median.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, not everyone has time to read every single goddamn review out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what has happened is it has been found out through an investigation that a PR firm called Bunker 15 has been paying small-time Rotten Tomatoes critics so as little as $50 to boost their tomato score because, some of their films weren't doing as well as they had hoped. And the first example of this that they traced down was from a thing called Ophelia. It had oh my gosh, Daisy Ridley, I believe.
Yes.
Doing a version of Ophelia, the infamous, classic story.
From Hamlet.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was the Rotten Tomato score came out after Sundance, and it was kind of lackluster. And so the PR firm started reaching out to critics, paying them, saying, "Hey, just review our film. We feel that the audience that saw it, are kind of being a little bit harsh. Kind of being vague at first, but then apparently they've done it with a ton of film. Bunker 15's done it with a ton of movies, and it started with Ophelia in 2018, I believe, 2019. And basically, this has been discovered, and to Rotten Tomatoes' credit, when this article came out, and it kind of was revealed what's going on, they immediately went and started removing a bunch of reviews that they suspect were paid for, and then sent messages to everyone who's reviewed Bunker 15 films, and was like, fucking don't, if we find out you're doing that, you are done.
Yeah.
Now, but it does beg the question, is this the only firm that's done this, or has it happened before? Or is it happening elsewhere? While there's no evidence,
the system can be gamed.
The system can be gamed.
This one lesser-known PR firm is doing it.
Yeah.
What are these big studios
Exactly.
doing?
Because back in 2016, 2015, a lot of major studios were getting accused of doing it, but there was no real evidence for it. It was just kind of angry fans accusing, and when investigations did happen, it led to nothing. But that's why we think the smaller firms are getting away with it.
Yeah.
So what does this mean? Does it mean that I can't trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore? I think whatever trust level you had of Rotten Tomatoes should remain relatively the same with a bit more skepticism.
Yeah.
I think that, because to Rotten Tomatoes' credit, because are they a perfect website? No. To their credit, whenever something like this happens, they are great at taking steps to prevent it. For example, when Captain Marvel came out and a bunch of people were review bombing it hard, they implemented a system kind of like CinemaScore does, where if you want to leave a review on Rotten Tomatoes and it's a theatrically released film, you have to prove that you watched it. And then suddenly what you see is a bunch of these films that got review bombed, while they can't go back and fix the reviews, all the future ones, when they try to make it happen, like an IMDb score will be incredibly low, but the Rotten Tomatoes is fine because it's people who actually watched the thing and weren't just like hate reviewing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they take steps after things happen. What steps can you take for something like this? That's a bit harder to determine. But I do think that what Rotten Tomatoes should do, and they did release a statement where they were like, hey, we didn't know about this. We're going to take action to make sure that this doesn't happen again. What that action is, we don't know yet. But I think what should happen is obviously a permanent ban from being considered on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe even fines, depending on, the violations of the code of conduct, or not code of conduct, but like terms of service.
Yeah.
And I would not be shocked if we hear more stories of things like this happening, or we at least hear a critic say, hey, a company has reached out to me and asked me to, like, if they could pay me for a positive review. I just want to let you guys know, because I think that's going to be the new norm. And because I do think if it was happening, it has to be some of these smaller firms like Bunker 15. Because, like, if Warner Brothers or Disney or someone tried to do this, yeah, they have money and they have power, sure. But that gets out.
It'd be all over.
Like, it would be insane. So, good on Vulture for doing this investigative piece and discovering something that clearly shouldn't be happening. And hopefully, this is an isolated incident. But at the same time, wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't. I just hope that Rotten Tomatoes continues to at least try to do the right thing and have a tighter sense of security around, they probably can no longer operate under just, oh, this is happening in good faith.
Yeah.
Like, I think they need to operate under the assumption that this can be gamed, and we should be aware and ready for that. What were your thoughts on kind of this whole debacle that happened?
I agree. I've always gone to Rotten Tomatoes. I've never taken the ratings or anything to heart, but I always kind of just use that as a general sort of gauge as to if I want to see it before a movie, kind of what am I getting into? Because the percentages, I don't think I'm be like, man, that had a 64, more like a 63. Like I don't, but I go like, okay, so this is probably a fine movie, or maybe I'm pleasantly surprised, or be like, what the fuck? Why isn't this higher? Like this was great, which happens. But I never took what they were to heart. I look at the critics' consensus just for that nice 2-sentence thing. But overall, kind of like you said, whatever trust you had in Rotten Tomatoes, whatever you use it for, it's skepticism. If you were like, Rotten Tomatoes is stupid, it's pointless, then it is still stupid and pointless. If you were like, this is the holy grail of referencing, I don't know, maybe watch some YouTubers who do reviews, or look at what's the big one that cinema scores are usually very reliable as well. I personally, I like the letterbox scores. Just, I know there's no sort of way to prove that you watched the movie, but I think that's a very tight film community, so I like to look at that rating scale.
I like the letterbox scores, but I think, and this is nothing against letterbox, I love letterbox. I think if there's a system that can be gamed, it is letterboxed.
Oh, 100%, but I don't know if letterboxed is as big as these are yet.
It's not.
Where it isn't hacked yet. You know?
And with Rotten Tomatoes, like, it should be known, I've been interviewed by them. When I was at Comic-Con, Mark Ellis interviewed me, and he was like, have we ever gotten stuff wrong? I was like, yes, King Arthur is amazing.
Which is facts.
Yeah. And so,
Con Air is rotten.
Yeah.
Like,
so, So, I mean, with that said, I just wanted that noted, I have no, I'm saying that to let you guys know, I have no quarrels with bad things happening with Rotten Tomatoes, good things happening with Rotten Tomatoes. It's a website to me. When you figure out how it works and realize like 60%, but the average score is an 8 out of 10, and it's like, what? Or like a movie has a 90%, but the average score is 6 out of 10, and you're like, okay, like, I think of all the metrics you could use.
Yeah.
It's a better one than most, but
I think the most important thing is, see the movies.
Yeah.
See movies that are bad, like The Nun II, which we just did a review for, which is in the link below. See movies that are great. You never know what'll surprise you. These sleeper indie hits might be your new favorite movie. And, form your own opinions. Put those thoughts out there. There's plenty of social media platforms to engage in. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest marker is just go see it. Yeah.
And I think the last thing I'll say is, while Rotten Tomatoes should never, ever be the be-all, end-all for what you do, I also understand, because film is filmmaking, modern-day movie making is an art, but it's also a business.
Yeah.
And it's a product. And if you're going to be a family of 4 who is going to debate, should I go out and spend $150, $200 tonight, you're going to want to know if what you're seeing is any good.
Yeah, no, completely fair.
And it's kind of like buying a car, buying a phone, buying anything. Like, you're going to look up the reviews. Like, how is this product?
Yeah, I'm fortunate, and we're fortunate. We have A-list. We actually like going to the movies. We have a good group. It's not a...
But that's not how
it's not a quarterly thing. Yeah, so I understand that being sort of that caliber of it, but also take the risk.
Yeah, I agree. More risks should be taken. But I also get it.
No, it's a very expensive thing, and... if it's going to be bad, then you kind of feel like a wasted evening. I look at it as, I saw one. Yeah. Let's do it again next week.
My whole philosophy is, I just love going to the movies.
I do too.
I don't care what it is. It could be Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2, which is coming.
I know, and I'm there. I don't care.
I'm going to watch it. Yeah. I just hope I can bring Kyler again. Because it's very rare that both me and him equally dislike something. Like, the same amount.
I feel like that's an extreme example, though.
No, but like, normally if we both like or dislike something, it's to varying levels. That's one of the few movies where I think we both hated it equally. Like, we both were like, that was garbage, right? Like, yeah, right? And so I want to bring him again. Because I want to see if it was just pure capitalization or if it was, hey, let's learn from what we did and...
Because I know they have a bigger budget now.
Yeah, they do.
I'd be curious.
Yeah, so and listen, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I hope it's great. I hope when we're off topic, but
I think the most we're getting is good or fine. Fine. I think okay.
I hope it's great. But with that down, guys, what do you think about the whole Rotten Tomatoes situation? Do you want to know more? Do you have any questions about how Rotten Tomatoes works or how this could happen to anyone else? Leave the questions in the comments. We'd love to respond or answer them in another video. And with that down, Nicholas, let's move on to the B-roll section of our show. What is the B-roll, you may ask? It's an extension of the movie news section of our show, except we don't have time to do full deep dives on these topics, but we still wanted to bring you the headlines and let you know what's going on. Nick, what do you got first?
Yeah, some news coming out of the Venice Film Festival. Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, has taken home the gold. It has won the top place at the Venice Film Festival and is a movie that I am very much looking forward to.
Yes, especially after The Favorite. That movie fucking rules. If you've never watched it, Nick, it is. It's.
I saw The Lobster.
That's a movie too, and it's fits that vibe. But like The Favorite, it's one of those movies where a movie's great when it's making something kind of mundane, but you care about it so much. Like Uncut Gems, where it's like, I just want this guy to make the right decision the whole movie. You're just like, please, for the love of God,
make one good decision.
And this movie is literally, it's not based on a true story or anything, but it's like old-timey England, like Victorian era almost. And Keira Knightley is like the Queen's right-hand maiden, and Emma Stone gets hired, and Emma Stone decides, I think I want to be the right-hand maiden. And it's just them
duking it out,
being cunty to each other the whole movie. And it's brilliant. It's so great. Like, it's unbelievable.
I mean, I thought The Lobster, it was weird. I'd want to revisit it, but the direction was great. Yeah. I know that The Favorite was nominated for all sorts of technical awards. Yeah. And just from the trailer for Poor Things alone, that this sort of Technicolor world that he's got going on, this almost watercolor backdrops and just the actors.
Yeah, and the story is like a flip on Frankenstein.
Exactly, which we'll get probably some good body horror, and we get Mark Ruffalo kind of wandering around.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited. I'm glad to see it's getting that praise, and I'm wondering if a movie that looks that weird and extreme could sustain itself through the Oscars. Because that's a big creative swing, and I'm on board for it.
Yeah, and typically movies that win Venice at least get nominated. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong about this comment. I'm pretty sure Joker won Venice.
Okay.
And it ended up getting nominated.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure that's a trend that
kind of happens.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't win a bunch, it's
going to get
there.
nominated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting to point out.
Yeah, definitely.
What else you got for us on the B-roll?
Yes. Warner Brothers Television has suspended a bunch of top overall deals as the studios continue to not pay their writers or actors fairly.
Yeah.
So some of these overall deals, first look deals, include Greg Berlanti Productions. So Greg Berlanti did the Arrowverse on the CW. Bill Lawrence's Doozer Productions. Bill Lawrence is famous for Scrubs, and more recently he did Shrinking on Apple TV, which is a great show. Mindy Kaling's Kaling International. We know Mindy Kaling from The Office. I know she has a hit show on Max called The 6 Lives of College Girls, which I think is entering its like 3rd or 4th season already. And J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot.
Yeah. So, and we heard that this could be a fear of a lot of overall deals getting canceled, and it's happening now. It's a shame because, you know, they're just doing this instead of paying their people fairly. But it's also, I remember when we heard about specifically J.J. Abrams' overall deal, we were like, that's surprising that they're even making overall deals still, because you'd think that way of thinking is kind of not going on, because with how streaming works and how just like people want to jump around and do a bunch of different jobs. But if you make the deal, you should honor it. So this is kind of shitty. Yeah. And it sucks. And, you know, we're going to see things like this happen as the strikes go on. Pay your fucking people. How's that sound?
Who'da thunk it?
Who'da thunk it? But yes, thank you for that. And with the B-roll down, we're now going to move on to the box office.
The box office.
I like that.
Thank you.
Good.
A little harmony going on.
Yeah. So, Nicholas, you got our predictions from last week?
I do. Dalton, you had Nun II, Equalizer 3, Blue Beetle, Gran Turismo based on a true story, and My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
Okay.
I had the Nun 2, Equalizer 3, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, Barbie, and Bottoms.
We were both wrong.
What?
You were close.
I was?
Yeah. So coming in first was the Nun 2, making $32.6 million.
Good for them.
Yeah. Coming in second was the Equalizer 3, making $12.1 million. Coming in third, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, making $10 million. Coming in fourth was actually an Indian film, a Bollywood film called Jawan. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's Jawan.
Okay.
Made $6.1 million. And coming in fifth was Barbie, making $5.9 million.
All right. What a week.
Yep. Blue Beetle came in sixth, Gran Turismo 7th, Oppenheimer 8th, Ninja Turtles 9, Bottoms 10.
Dang. Hey, Bottoms at the bottom of the top 10.
Hey.
We're still in there, though.
Yes. So let's kind of dive into these numbers a little bit more. Worldwide, The Nun has already made $85 million. And its budget, according to Wikipedia, so take that with what you will, is around $40 million. So it's already doubled it on its way to profitability. Surprise, surprise, a horror movie makes money. Look at the trend, guys. Look at the trend. Next up, let's look at Equalizer 3. That film has now made $107 million worldwide.
God damn.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's so exciting. I believe its budget was around 60. So I want to say, hold on, it was 70. So it needs to get to like 140, a little over 140, 160 maybe. So
okay.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Coming in third, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. This franchise has always done well. That first one, for a while, was one of the top movies to never hit number one at the box office. Worldwide, it has $12.7 million already. Let me see what that budget was.
It's got a big cast.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a bunch of big names, but it's got a big main cast, which might need some payment.
Yeah. So, oh my God, according to Slash Film, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3's budget was $5 million.
That
can't be. Fucking awesome.
That can't be right.
It is. I think it's right.
$5 million?
I think it's right.
And it made 10 already?
12 worldwide.
Is My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 going to be profitable?
Most likely it will.
Depending on how it holds next week.
Hold on, let me look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I stand corrected. $5 million was the cost of the first film.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
The second film, they have not reported the budget of the third film, but the second film cost about $18 million, and everyone is saying it's probably around the same.
15 to 20.
15 to
is
20
probably
range.
a safe range.
Yes. So it's made 12. Not bad. It's doing not bad for
See
that
how it
budget.
holds. It might be consistent, or everyone who's going to see it saw it.
Yep, that's true. Let's dive into Jawan. It's made $7.5 million. It's only opened domestically so far. Let's see what that budget was. So with converting it, it was made on a budget of about $36 million. And it's made, so far, a little over 7.5. I think it might have opened on a Wednesday. That's why it's above that opening weekend number.
Hefty budget.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's probably going to open worldwide and do gangbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Overseas. And, of course, Barbie, which has now made $1.4 billion worldwide. What an insane success story for that film. And let's dive into a few other movies here. Blue Beetle has made $114 million worldwide on a budget of $120. You know, them's the breaks.
Still more than it would have made if it got dumped on Max.
That's true. Gran Turismo has now made $93 million worldwide. It's going to hit 100 here in just a few weeks. But with that 60 budget, it'll be slightly below profitability. It might squeak its way there. We'll just have to see how it continues. Oppenheimer has now made $891 million worldwide.
Nolan is very happy.
Yeah, it's going to definitely crack 900.
Especially with that back-end deal.
Oh, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem has made $161 now, and it's officially at 2.3 times the budget, so we're swooping right up to profitability there. And Bottoms has now made $7.6 million on a budget of $11, so there's a little while to go. But for the kind of niche movie that it is, I don't think the studio is going to take this as a bad sign at all, even if it loses a little bit of money. And lastly, before we go, I do want to compare the Nun's box office to the Nun II's box office and kind of take a guess as to where things might be headed. Let's dive into this. The first Nun movie opened to $53.8 million, which is cuckoo bananas, back in 2018. And the Nun II opened to 32, like we said earlier. So a step down from the first film, and the first film also had a 66% drop. I can imagine this around the same, which leads me to believe, unless it has a strong hold, the Nun II will not be as successful as the Nun, but I don't think it's going to be a huge concern in regard to profitability. The first Nun ended up making $363 million worldwide on a budget of 22. 16.5 times its budget back.
Hell yeah.
Christ. And, it's going to be about, I think I could see the Nun cracking over 200 maybe, a little bit, Nun 2.
I mean, once it hits 100, it's already uber profitable.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's not like it's
time.
yeah.
But yeah, them's the breaks for horror. But that tends to be the little comparison between the Nun and the Nun 2 there.
Do you want to get into our predictions for next week?
I would love that.
What is coming out, Dalton? What do we have here?
I believe it's Haunting in Venice.
Is that it?
Let me see. So all I see is a movie called After Everything.
Okay.
Camp Hideout, Satanic Hispanics. That's an amazing title.
Jeez.
And A Haunting in Venice. So it looks like A Haunting in Venice is the only big one we got coming.
All right. I believe I went first last week, so you are up this week.
Ooh. Call me crazy.
Yep.
Number 1, A Haunting in Venice.
Okay. Fair.
Number 2, The Nun II.
Okay.
Number 3, Equalizer 3. Number 4, Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Number 5, Barbie.
All right, I'm going to go Venice. I'm going to go Nun. Barbie.
Oh! Barbie jumping up back to number 4.
And Greek.
That would be fucking good. That'd be good.
I'm about it. We will see.
We will see indeed, dude. Fuck. That'd be good.
Hell yeah.
Oh, but yeah. No, that's pretty good. Before we go, guys, I just want to remind you, if you like the show, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you liked audio-only versions, we do have those listed on your favorite podcasting app of choice. And if you're listening on audio-only, please go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us. We'd really appreciate it. And if you have box office predictions of your own, please comment them. And if you're right, we'll shout you out on the show. Anything else you got for him, Nicholas?
Yeah, as always, as the studios continue to not pay their writers and actors, links to the strike pages as well as a donation link can be found in the description, as well as links to all of our social medias if you care to follow us on there. We post show updates and clips from the show. And yeah.
With that, guys, I've been Dalton Burdett.
I've been Nick Iricchio.
And we'll see you on the next show.